Om Asatu ma sadgamaya tamasho ma jyotirgamaya mrityur ma amritangamaya avir maidhi rudro jate dakshinam mukham te namang pahi nityam te namang pahi nityam. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. And evermore shine in our hearts with your resplendent face. Om peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are today to start this chapter 7 of the Shanti Gita, and that is the last chapter and of this book. So here, the other chapter we talked about the same knowledge of the self, Jivan Mukta state, what is the ultimate destination, how to analyze this world. Similarly, here also, the same question is continued by Sri Arjuna. Arjuna here raises this question that the very first verse says, King lakṣya svātma-rūpeṇa King lakṣya svātma-rūpeṇa jad brahma kathyate vidā yad brahma kathyate vidā jñātvā brahma-rūpeṇa jñātvā brahma-rūpeṇa svātmānaṃ vedmi tad vada svātmānaṃ vedmi tad vada. What does it mean? It says King Lakṣya. What is the lakha? Lakha means the indicated object. All this discussion is going on. What is the end point to be focused on? What is the object of our focus or target? What is the target? That Atma. What is that object? What are the indication of that reality? That svātma-rūpeṇa, which can be experienced by his own divine nature, on its own self, that which is called also Brahma, jad Brahma kathyate vidā, and that is also called what is called Brahman by the people of vidā, means the people of knowledge, the knower of truth. And jñātvā brahma-rūpeṇa, jñātvā, knowing which, as Brahman, as this I am that Brahman, svātmānaṃ, that means me, as brahma-rūpeṇa vedmi, shall I realize that I am Brahman? Please tell me that process, but how can I reach that goal? That means that which is indicated, svātma-rūpeṇa, as myself, and what is called Brahman by the people of wisdom, or knower of truth, which is indicated by the word self, and that which is indicated by the word Brahman. By knowing which the identity of these two, svātmānaṃ brahma-rūpeṇa vedmi, how shall I know that this Atman is Brahman and nothing else? Please teach me that science, that object. So, Arjuna is saying, what is the object of our focus, which is called the Ātmānam, which the knowers of truth say, that knowing that self as Ātmānam united together, that gives liberation. as you, Bhagavan, you are the ideal teacher. So please tell me that. Though I have understood it, I have heard it from you again before, but still, until now, I am not established in that truth. Therefore, teach me that how I shall understand this self as that infinite Brahman. They are all equal. That means, aham brahmasmi. How shall I know this aham, this Atman, is Brahman? That is the question. Therefore, please tell me, I can attain to eternal peace by knowing that. Kindly guide me and teach me how can I analyze that and find what is Atman. And I think this is the essence of the all Upanishadic truth, that which is indicated by the Atman, aham brahmasmi. That's why it's called the Mahavakya. It's called the great dictum. Because Mahavakya means the word, we talk small words about the mundane world, about this, that. What is the the great Mahavakya, the grand expression of the truth expressed through the language? That's why it is called the Mahavakya. Aham is not aham. Aham as consciousness, and that which is behind this so-called I, and that which is behind that entire cosmos, that is the same consciousness identified here and there. So the running translation says that Arjuna is saying that which is indicated as my own self, capital self, not the small self, what is in me, the knowers of truth describe it as equal to Brahman. Now, O Krishna, please tell me about this knowledge so that I can realize my own self, knowing that as Brahman. Yeah, this is the important thing. Knowing only here will not do. What is here, that is there. To see this both sides. With eyes closed, Ramakrishna used to say, God is there when the eyes is closed, and when I open, God goes. There is no such thing. What is here, that is there. To see with eyes open or eyes closed. Now, śrībhagavan, Krishna, gives the response to this in the second verse. aṅguṣṭha-mātraḥ puruṣo aṅguṣṭha-mātraḥ puruṣo hṛt-padme vyavasthitaḥ aṅguṣṭha-mātraḥ puruṣāः hṛt-padme vyavasthitaḥ tam ātmānam ca vettāraṃ tam ātmānam ca vettāraṃ viddhi buddhyā susūkṣmayā viddhi buddhyā susūkṣmayā. So aṅguṣṭha-mātraḥ puruṣā. In the Upanishad it is said that puruṣa, that consciousness, is like that of a thumb. That means in the heart is like the thumb. That means that is not a physical hṛdaya, but it is that the shape of a thumb indicating that consciousness resides. And that we call Atman. He is the witness. Now, hṛt-padme vyavasthitaḥ, who is residing there in the hṛt-padme, lotus of the heart, like that of a thumb, that puruṣa, that consciousness, when one knows tam ātmānam ca vettāraṃ, he who knows viddha, that as Atma, that is me, that is the real me, not the other body, mind, emotion, ego, not those. And you cannot know by ordinary buddhi, susūkṣmayā buddhyā, finest of the fine intelligence. With this intelligence we can know all the things in the material object. And many things we cannot comprehend even with this gross buddhi. And to what the question of understanding what is the transcendental truth. Therefore, it is said it needs a very fine, refined buddhi, understanding. And it is sukṣma. It should be very sharp, very pinpointed, one-pointed buddhi. So Gita also suggests that buddhi. So aṅguṣṭha-mātraḥ puruṣo, size of a thumb, puruṣo, the conscious entity, hṛt-padme, in the lotus of the heart, that vyavasthitaḥ, which is placed or situated, tam ātmānam, that self, and vettāraṃ, the experiences of that, viddhi, buddhyā, in the intellect, or extremely subtle buddhi. Through your very subtle intellect, through your very subtle intellect, know that the conscious entity of the size of a thumb is situated in the lotus of the heart to be the self and the experiencer. Vettāraṃ. Kena Upanishad says, who is the Vetta? Who is the knower? Who is behind the eyes? Kena ishitaṃ preshitaṃ patati manaha. Guided by whom? Goaded by whom? These eyes fall upon the objects of the senses. Ear hears the sound. All the sense activity is going on. Because of what? Kene shitaṃ patati manaha. Kena prana prathama praiti yukta. This prana, vital prana. How? What is that behind this? That it flows like that, it is alive, no? Kene shitaṃ vācam imam vadanti. Desired by whom? That this speech expresses. What is that behind? So, there the Kena Upanishad said, Manaso manojat, vācaho vācam, manaso manojat. He is not the speech. He is the real speech behind this speech. This is not the mind. Mind recognizes, mind goes and captures the image of that and vritti and then brings back, then knowledge happens. But it is not the mind. Behind that mind, the real mind. So that is the way they said that is the consciousness ultimately. So this is this, but where is that? Why it is aṅguṣṭha-mātraḥ in the hṛt-padme? Why? Because it is the feeling center. Normally, we all experience our sorrows and suffering, joys and happiness, all in the heart. So that's why it is called the hṛt-padma. And there, it is very subtle. That's why aṅguṣṭha-mātraḥ. And I don't know why they call aṅguṣṭha, a thumb-like, because the shape of the heart is that, but it is not the physical heart in any way. So, that consciousness which is in the heart, aṅguṣṭha-mātraḥ, in the Kathopanishad is also there, aṅguṣṭha-mātraḥ puruṣo. So
also they don't say who's aṅguṣṭha, like a baby, that aṅguṣṭha is smaller.
So baby's aṅguṣṭha in baby's body, and our aṅguṣṭha in our own body. That means focus in the heart to realize that. And it is not a physical thing that it is just a symbolic expression. That's why it is said that who is existing, to know that, to experience that. His knowing means experiencing. But that experience will be coming when you go transcend the intellect, buddhi. But that buddhi should be refined first. Our buddhi is gross buddhi, like that you take an axe and try to dissect the heart with that axe. It will have no effect. Heart will also go and everything will go. But to do surgery in the heart, you need a very fine surgical instrument. So similarly, with this gross buddhi, you want to penetrate the world, it is impossible that tool is not sufficient and strong and instrumental. So therefore, it is very fine that sukshma buddhi comes by spiritual practice, by prayer, by meditation, by selfless karma. So that buddhi generates. And they cannot, because in anything, in the gross or in the subtle or in the causal level, you are in the level of this ignorance and maya. So we are rotating in the same level of round and round of birth and death. So to go that, first to gross to subtle and subtle to very fine. That's why very subtle buddhi. Yeah? That's why so much emphasis is also given in food. Sattvika food is so much emphasized. Because buddhi shuddhi. And also Sankara says, buddhi shuddhi prayojanam. It is the necessity that shuddhi of the buddhi is necessary. Buddhi shuddhi is important. Without that, these fine things cannot be understood. But only that food is not the only food. Will you take on the tongue? We always think that the tongue is the only problem. Our eyes are problem, our ears are problem, our nose are problem. So problem in many areas. Shankaracharya, that's why he said, Upanishad says, ahara suddhau satta suddhi. Satta suddhau dhruva smriti. Smritir lambhe vipra. What is that? Last word. Anyhow, so buddhi, shuddhi is necessary. Na? Purification of the buddhi, intellect, mind. And this mind will be pure, understanding will be pure, your ego sense will be pure, not that proud and arrogant, it will be humble and purified. And so, ahara suddho, when the ahara, whatever we are intaking, if that is purified, ahara suddho, sattva shuddhi. Sattva means our understanding becomes little purer. Because food has so much connection. We understand. One food, if we eat, it will all rash will come over the body. If in physical level it happens. Another food you take, it soothes your system. You can have a good sleep. You take some food, it will be whole night. You will be restless. So there is, even in the gross sense, we can understand that.
No, but if your understanding is not clear enough, then you will not be able to discriminate what to see, what not to see, what to hear, what not to hear. So if your understanding is already clear enough, then...
Understanding is clear, we are not concerned about that. We are talking about us who are not clear. How we can be clear in our understanding. This text is for not that person who has already reached Jivan Mukti, who has become purified. It is not, we are reading for them, no. They don't need to read anything. They themselves become the example of Brahma-jnana. But we are talking about we people whose buddhi is not sharp yet. Sharp may be intelligent people that they are in the world. How to cheat others, how to make money, how to do all these, how to trouble others and they show the face that I am very goody-goody, I am the very best person in the world. That is called the Ramakrishna said, sa chaturi. That type of cleverness, it is clever. There may be clever people, but sa chaturi, that cleverness is called cleverness, which gives pure mind and which shows us God. And this worldly, clever and cunning people, there are people, they are very shrewd, they are very intelligent. But that is not the intelligence we are talking about. A pure intelligence which will show the sattvika nature or something behind this material world, to feel the presence of something else, both here and outside. aṅguṣṭha-mātraḥ puruṣo, that Upanishad says, aṅguṣṭha-mātraḥ puruṣo madhya ātmani tishtati ishāno bhūto bhavyasya iti. So, aṅguṣṭha-mātraḥ puruṣo, that conscious entity like that of a thumb finger, madhya ātmani tishtati, he resides in this Atman, means his body here. Ishāno, and he is the controller. Ishāno means the controller. Bhūto bhavya, what is past, present and future. That is the conscious entity. So that, it is actually they are talking about the tattvamasi analysis of Mahavakya, Vedanta analysis. That is the real Vedanta. Day and night, that's why Vedanta student think, who am I? In another way, I am that consciousness, not anything else. Tattvamasi. And there are great people like Shvetaketu was a boy, very pure, stainless, Shuddha Buddhi. So he listened from Guru, Tattvamasi Shvetaketu, 9 times. And then he got the realization instantly. And we are listening whole life. It goes through this eye, ear, and goes to the other ear. How much we analyze, it does not sink here. So that is the pure intellect will catch it. It is like that, it is given the example in a pure mirror. The sunlight shines brightest. Same sunlight you can put in a darker substance, you see, it does not reflect. So as this surface, chitta, or the mind or buddhi becomes purer and purer, then the shining nature of the divine will be very much visible. That's why we go to the holy people who have purified their heart. If we go in proximity with them, we feel so much joy, because their signs, the reflection, that what is the real nature reflects more. Because still when one is functioning, he functions through his buddhi only. Chitta, yogic term chitta, a reflection on the chitta. So, who can get deep inside? So that is the tattvamasi. By the word tattvamasi, the tongue and tat, the two are tat, tvam. Tvam is this. This means normally we see, who am I? The identification comes with the body, with the mind, with our bio data, our what you call ID. ID card says eyes this color, hair this color, height this 5 foot 5 inches, weight is this much. This is called ID. But not that. We are not talking about that. Tvam does not mean that. Tvam means something which is much subtler and finer and behind. So then we may think, okay, it is not the physical, though I understand. Then what is that? Actually, then will be, you are then go to one level, and the panchata kosha vichar, the analysis of the 5 koshas. What is that? Annomayo, pranomayo, manomayo, vijñānomayo, ānandamayo atmā me shuddhantam. So this Atman, what I can I, be Shuddha. Shuddha means purified. When it's purified, then the inner light will shine forth. So I am not annamaya, made of the rice, dal, food item, what we eat and consume, and gets transformed into my flesh and bone and all these things. That is me. No, not that. That we can understand from a gross analysis. But to go deeper and deeper is much difficult. And the pranic energy, pranamayo, this life force which is functioning. Yes, that is me. The body, nothing. If the life force stops, then the body will be dead body. So I cannot be that. Because we are studying the consciousness. The consciousness now, body is moving, eyes are seeing. This is consciousness. No. You go back one step, back. So actually, it is trying to analyze that way. The Atman, what is that Atman? going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and touching that consciousness. And what is this universe? Behind that, who is there? What is that? The gross, the subtle, similarly to move in that direction, ultimately to reach where that is the consciousness is there. And that consciousness and this consciousness are no different. So that's why this second verse, śrībhagavan started with this. Though you're very subtle, through your very subtle intellect, know that the conscious entity is of the size of a thumb. It is situated in the lotus of the heart. And that will be the self and the experiencer. So it is someone is sitting, as it were, in a personalized form, we are saying. It is now no one is actually sitting there. But because of the five koshas are there, we see that some entity is inside. We are talking in this vein. Vedanta starts with that, inside, outside. But when it reaches the truth, there is no inside and outside. In and out, all become one. So when one is observing the inside, going inner, more inner into our very being, there we find that there is that consciousness shining. And also in the cosmos, in the whole creation, wherever we look, we analyze it, then there is that consciousness. And to find this identity, that is called the knowledge. So third verse says, hṛdaya-kamalaṃ pārtha, hṛdaya-kamalaṃ pārtha, hi aṅguṣṭha-parimāṇataḥ, hi aṅguṣṭha-parimāṇataḥ, tatra tisthati yo bhati, tatra tisthati yo bhati, vaṃśa-parvasu iva ambaram, vaṃśa-parva iva ambaram, aṅguṣṭha-mātraṃ puruṣaṃ tena, aṅguṣṭha-mātraṃ puruṣaṃ tena, eva vadati śrutihi, eva vadati śrutihi. Shruti says, evaṃ vadati śruti. Shruti, the Upanishads declare thus, aṅguṣṭha-mātraṃ puruṣa. That puruṣa is of the nature of aṅguṣṭha, the thumb. Tatra tisthati. There hṛdaya-kamalaṃ pārtha, O Partha, in the kamala, in the lotus of the heart. aṅguṣṭha-parimāṇataḥ, in the shape of that, size of that thumb. Tatra tisthati. And they are staying there, jo bhati, who reveals everything. He is as if he is everywhere. That Ramakrishna said, the governor is everywhere, but governor can be found in governor house. Lat Sahib sab jagah thakte pare. But the Lat Sahib can be found in his Lat Sahib's quarters, mostly. So God is everywhere. But when you say tangible manifestation in here, in a person, where is that? Even finger is there, hand is there. It is manifested there more? No, it is only manifested in the heart. So that's why it is said that bhati vaṃśa-parvasu iva ambaram. And that in the Upanishad it is said that puruṣo is aṅguṣṭha-mātraḥ tena eva. So let us see hṛdaya-kamalaṃ, the lotus-like heart, O Partha, is surely aṅguṣṭha-parimāṇataḥ, is like to be made thumb size by measure. Tatra, there, tisthati, there exists, ja, and that entity, bhati, shines like vaṃśa-parvasu in the nodes of a bamboo tree, like ambaram, like space, aṅguṣṭha-mātraṃ, of the size of a thumb, puruṣam, conscious self, tena eva vadati śrutihi. That is, by that only everything is permeated. It is said by the Upanishads. So, this is only assertion of the same word, that the consciousness is of the nature of in the person. If you want to find, so try to find here. That's why our gurus give us the meditation. Exceptional teachers give for meditation somewhere else, but normally our guru ultimately gives to meditate in the heart. Why it is the heart is so important? Because there is a greater manifestation. So long we live in the level of duality. Those who have raised their consciousness in a higher level, they can live in this plane or this plane. So say, Ishwar Kutis can live in this plane, Jivan Muktas, they may move between here and there. But we ordinary people, the heart is the best. And Thakur said, hṛdaya kamalaṃ. Kamalaṃ is a most pronounced place for the Lord's residence. So that's why hṛdaya-kamalaṃ. And we say hṛdaya-kamalaṃ madhye rājitaṃ nirvikalpam. You see, we are same, this is the idea. You want to find God first. Don't try to find God first everywhere. Yeah, this attempt should be done, but more should be focused here. Unless it is here, outside it is just a futile attempt. And there is risk of getting mixed up with our ignorance more. But hṛdaya-kamalaṃ madhye rājitaṃ nirvikalpam. There resides, there reveals that rājitam means virajitam. There exists that Ramakrishna, but what is he? Hṛdaya-kamalaṃ madhye rājitaṃ nirvikalpam. He is beyond all modulation. Sat, asat, akilo, veda, atitam. He is atita, he is beyond, though he is a human form, but he is atita, sat and asat, existence and non-existence. In the sensory universe, there is two ideas. Something is there, something is not there. You can say he is here or he is not here. Well, no, you cannot say he is there. Then you limit it. If you can say no, it does not exist, that also means as if it is nothing. So this veda, this duality, this distinction, atitam, beyond that. See how he is indicating what we are reading here. Tatro tishtati yo bhati. They are residing there who is illumining my heart, giving experiences of all the things what I see, hear, understand, experience. So that is inside, and that is the truth. And that is, we are meditating on Ramakrishna, but Ramakrishna Pranam Mantra says this. All Vedanta. Hṛdaya-kamalaṃ madhye rājitaṃ nirvikalpam sada kila veda atitam sada sadveda atita ekasharupam. That is of the nature of only one, absolute one. There is no two. Ekam eva advitiyam brahma. And that is the state, Sri Ramakrishna. That particular line. Prakriti vikriti shunnam. That Ramakrishna is shunna, is void of prakriti, the 24 cosmic principles, and is vikriti and is deformation. Varied types of changes in it. Prakriti vikriti shunnam. Nityam anandamurting. Now you can think of Ananda. Ramakrishna is Ananda. See, we think that only the photograph is he. But this Ananda is an expression of that which prakriti vikriti shunna, beyond everything, beyond understanding. Prakriti vikriti shunnam nityam anandamurting. That Bimala Paramahansam, that Paramahansa, the Supreme One, which is Bimala, exclusively pure, and there is not a trace of any ignorance there. That I bhajamo, I pray. So every day you meditate. So you see, that's why, what a beautiful composition. All this philosophy has been pushed it. Only we have to do something. Even every day meditating on Ramakrishna, we doze off. Why? We don't think that this is something else is here. As if I am groping in darkness and to see something, someone is sitting, I don't see him. Naturally mind finds joy in sleep or to run in subjects. So, but if he really feels a little bit, unless he intellectually think these ideas, alertness comes more. So Jyotishtati Tatra Tishtati. Being there, see that's Sri Ramakrishna, as if it's a biography of Ramakrishna. No? We are reading this verse, it is Ramakrishna's biography. Yes, that's why Premeshananda Maharaj used to say, the Upanishad, etc., is the biography of Ramakrishna. You want to see, we see that he is born on that day and did this. This is the biography. hṛdaya-kamalaṃ pārtha aṅguṣṭha-parimāṇataḥ tatra tishtati. They are residing there. Jo bhati, who is revealing everything. Like aṅguṣṭha-mātraḥ puruṣaṃ tena eva vadati sruti. That's why the Upanishads declare so boldly that it is in the form of a thumb. So that's why here some explanation is little given, giving you, O Arjuna, the advice of the great dictums. You have to understand what is the meaning of the tvang padartha, thou. That means buddhyavacchinna kūṭastha-caitanyaṃ. That kūṭastha-caitanyaṃ which is limited by the buddhi. And tatpad means maya avachinna brahma-caitanyaṃ. These are all technical terms. That cosmic consciousness which is covered by maya, that is we call Brahma Tat. And Tam is the same Brahman covered with ajnana or individual ignorance. That is called. You remove this ignorance and that ignorance, Brahman does not become Brahman and you don't become Atman. There is no Brahman, no Atman, that is that. You cannot say what is that. So, therefore, when you think that you are Brahman, you need to understand that. And if you have not established yourself there, then how to know? You know you have to know that reality by your one-pointedness and love for meditation. The best competent student are of three types, no? To realize Brahman, three types. Uttam, madhyam, adham. An excellent student, mediocre, and ordinary. Third class. I say Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, Totapuri, said once, boom, where? Swamiji, Ramakrishna touched one, boom, the whole world vanishing and this and that is established. And he says, after that touch, second time, or third time, and he touched, one touch is enough to see God everywhere. And he could not find any place where there is no consciousness. He is hitting his head on the, the railing of the Hedua Park, still there. Those were at that time, cast iron railing were there. And he is hitting his head. Is it cast iron or it is consciousness? For him, cast iron is gone, but his head is becoming swollen. Because physical is physical, but he is not in the physical, though seeing the physical. So they are uttama adhikari. So there are three types of uttama, madhyama. That's why the scripture have made different advices to different categories of student. Uttam, madhyam, and adhama. And following the path of the sadhana chatushtaya, viveka, vairagya, samadhi, sat sampatti, and moksha. This is called the sadhana chatushtaya. By following this path of spiritual practice of these four types. What are the four types? Viveka, to analyze whether this is real, this is permanent, this is consciousness, or it is matter. Analyze, analyze, analyze. Only that will not do. Only analyzing, this is good, this is bad, this is permanent, this is impermanent, does not make any sense. Unless you have the determination, I don't care for it. I say this is unreal, that is real, and also get involved into what is unreal and release that. So that will not do. Viveka vairagya. So dispassion, detachment, renunciation should be followed in relation to the object which is permanent or impermanent. And then samadhi sataka sampatti. We need some coin, rich. You want to go to a distant land, you must have your pocket full of money. Otherwise, your hotel charge, travel expenses, all these are to be exchanged with some pocket money. So 6 treasures: sama, control of the mind; dhamma, senses, restraint, sama dhamma; titiksha, means austerity. Austerity what? Shankara gives a big austerity. Sahanam sarva-dukkhanam apratikara purvakam. You endure sahanam sarva-dukkhanam. Whatever trouble comes, okay, let me endure. But apratikara purvakam, not agitated or not reactionary. Apratikara purvakam. Chinta, even I won't think of that. Chinta, bilapo, lamentation. Oh, I didn't say, but I should have said this. I didn't do, but I should have done that. That's the ideal condition. That's the titiksha's ideal condition. Chinta, bilapo, sa, that is called the titiksha, endurance, kathyate. Samadama, titiksha, upurati, withdrawing the mind from all these troubled and distracting objects to focusing here inside, or seeing God everywhere. Upurati. Shraddha, means faith and trust in yourself, and also in God, and mumukshattva. I want to be liberated. This is bondage for me.
No, mumukshattva another. Shraddha,
Samadhan. Samadhan is the equanimity of the mind. In all that state, samadhan. So this is the sata sampatti. And last is mumukshata. Vivek vairagya, sata samadhi sataka sampatti, mumukshatta. So mumukshatta is the last one, means measure. Why I am doing this? I want to be liberated. No other goal for me life. So this should be cultivated. And I'm not just saying I am Atman, you are Atman, you are Brahman, I am the witness. That will not do. It will only go over your head. That can give us good pride that I know I have read this Vedanta, that Vedanta. But to make it realistic, these are the things necessary. That's why to purify our mind, to purify our intellect, sadhan chatushtaya sampanna. One should be engaged in this 4 sadhana. 4 sadhana. Sadhana, chatushtaya. Chatushtaya means, chatu means 4. So 4 types of sadhana. Viveka, understanding what is permanent, impermanent, eternal, non-eternal. And then understanding that the courage and strength to give up. I throw away, I don't like, I won't touch it, because it is contrary to my spiritual growth. That is the second, vivek vairagya. Samadhi sataka sampatti, 6 treasures of mental equanimity, sense control, and all this we discussed. And mumukshattva. Why? I want to be liberated. I don't want to be involved in this life like this cats and dogs and animals, to be born and dying and born again and again and again. So I want to get out of it. So that, these are the sadhana which will purify my heart. And then purifying heart will show us the truth. So how to clean the mind from all this dross, all this confusion of ignorance or maya, sadhana chatushta. That's why Mirabai said, sadhana karna chahiye manuva, bhajana karna chahiye, prem lagana chahiye manuva, prita karna chahiye, bhajan karna chahiye. It will not do just taking a Ganga dip. Thakur said, you do a Ganga dip, yes, the saints leave you. But they're waiting on the tree bench, and as soon as one comes out, okay, again come up. So, Neet Nahan se Hari mile to Jalajantu hai. Those who are aquatic animals, they live all the time in the water, in the Ganga, holy Ganga. So they will be liberated. So I also go take a dip and sprinkle Ganga water now and then. So I am, no, not Nahan, Neet Nahan se. Phalamulo khake. I don't disturb anyone, I don't hurt anyone. Okay, I am vegetarian, that's good. But merely that will not do. Phalamulo khake, hari mile to badura badrai. They are badur. Or the birds and many birds, they live only on the fruits. They don't never taste any meat or any other thing. Tiran bhakan se hari mile to bahut aja amriga. There are goats and cows and so they would have realized God because they are eating all the time that thing. और एक क्या है पहाड़ पत्थर पूजन से हो रही मिले ऐसा I take a शिवलिंगम ऐसे पत्थर if I have no sense of that is the consciousness the Lord Shiva himself the पत्थर पूजन से मैं पूजू पहाड़ I could have gone to give flowers and throw Ganga water on the top of Himalayas then I realized God no so what is needed is that प्रेम करना चाहिए मनुआ प्रीत करना चाहिए भजन करना चाहिए मनुआ जप so sadhan bhajan that's why sadhan chatushtai this four sadhan for the Vedanta student should be done and those who are very expert in the process of analyzing and in this pure form of this sadhana chatushtai, they are the mukhya adhikari, they are the prime competent people, they will get earlier because their mind is ready. By this practice, they are detached, they have the proper understanding of the truth, they have power to reject what is impermanent. So they will be able to see the reality first. And if they hear from the teacher's mouth only, even half a slope or a slope, they can immediately get a glimpse of that realization. They are high-class students. In the Mahabharata, it has been said that ātmānam bindate jastu sarvabhuta guhāsayam slokeno matadardheno kshinam tasya prayojanam. Ātmānam bindate jastu sarvabhuta guhā. That Lord who lives in the guha, in the cave of the heart of all, who resides there, one who understands that Atman, this is my Atman, slokeno or tad ardheno, maybe one full sloka or a happy couplet. Kshinam tasya prayojanam, tad ardheno kshinam tasya prayojanam. He does not need much to hear, only one word or two, some happy sloka or quarter sloka, that will make them feel realize. That's why it is said, svātma-rūpeṇa piṣācavat apnuyāt. Svātma-rūpeṇa means mahavakya. When you hear that I am that, thou art that, prajñānam brahma, I am atma brahma, all this dictum, svātma-rūpeṇa piṣācavat apnuyāt. Like a piṣāc means The pisach means ghoul. As they like some ghoul-like food, so this mind will be ghoul-like and will gab the truth instantly. So, mukti, liberation, is under this level of knowledge of the self. That tattva jnana is under the spell of vakartha. Tat gyan, vakartha jnana. That means you analyze what is the meaning of the word, mahavakya, tat, tvam. You have to analyze day and night. It depends on that. And vakartha jnana, padartha jnana. That means when this meaning of the word which you are contemplating, this is Atman, this is Brahman, this is the consciousness, that is the indicated meaning of all word. If that continuously goes on, then that will give the wisdom in the heart of a person. That's why, therefore, sadhana sampanna, who is competent, who is engaged in sadhana, 4 sadhanas, become pure-hearted, suddha chitta, vichara kushal, who is adept in analyzing what the real meaning of it. They are the mukkha adhikari, they are the prime recipient of the truth. When they hear from the Guru's mouth, tattamasi mahavakya, and then it actually indicates that, and they reach that point of Brahma Chaitanya. Like that, they gain the knowledge of the akasa, the space, mahakasa, ghaṭa-akasa. And this body identity goes away. When the body identity goes, this akasa which is contained inside, where is the distinction? Great space and this space become one, mahakasa. Okay? So we end here today, up to verse 3. Next time we will read 4. Next line is Mahakase bhate jate avakaso ghāṭa-madhyagaḥ viddha kathyate loka-paṇḍitaiḥ. So he is giving the example, what is called ghāṭa-akasa and mahakasa. One devotee, he was initiated by Swami Bhasyananda Swami. So he used to come here, and he says that after a long time, he listening to Vedanta, he asked Bhasyananda Swami, I don't understand all these things. Could you please tell me in a simple language what I can grab it? Then he said, Vedanta is so simple. Where is the problem? Ghāṭa-akasa, mahakasa. Break the ghāṭa, it becomes mahakasa. So where is the distinction? Only your body, the pot, made of jar, earthen pitcher, is making me different from this pot and that pot and that pot and that pot. Break the pot, I am not the body, break it, then space is space. You feel instantly, the barrier is gone. So he said that in one stroke, I heard that, but intellectual clarity. It was so spontaneously came, I could not believe that reading so many texts, it does not give that. But in sense, sometimes sadhu, the words of some sadhus instantly give some idea about the truth. Okay. Oh, pishacha, place sitting. You are talking about. No, I should not say it. That photograph you are showing this morning or when? Yeah, narakhado, the fish, meat eating, no? Animal, cannibal, pishacha. There may be other words also. Yeah, same word have so many meanings. Pishacha, they have no sense of purity, so pishacha. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Oh, so we have one question has come, and then we'll see. And tomorrow will be our gospel class. Acha. Would disciples of Sri Ramakrishna compare and gossip about the spiritual progress of each other? That we find sometimes. You read the gospel, at the end of the gospel appendix you will find that Swami Vivekananda talking to M, and they are discussing about the spiritual progress of each other. Swamiji is sometimes saying, I did so much austerity, I practiced so much of things, but what? I see nothing. I have seen the mantras in the bright letters, but what has happened? Nothing has happened. Like that. So that probably they do. Any spiritual person, what they will do? Suppose two politicians meet together, they will talk about politics. Two businessmen will be talking about business. So two spiritual people will talk about the spirituality and also comparing each other. Yeah, not there is an yardstick to measure by external comparison, but they do probably. M says something and Swamiji says something. Swamiji is one letter writing to M, the Master Mosai, that the Master Mosai, with much humility, he says, oh, I saw such a Ramakrishna, what has happened in me? Nothing has happened. Then Swami Vivekananda wrote that beautiful comment, Chilen Guru, you were a cow, you have become a man, and you will be Balaram Basu, right? Balaram Basu. Balaram Basu, such a Thakur's disciple, he was so humble all the time. So Master Mosai, he told Swamiji, nothing has happened, what has happened? I came in touch with Ramakrishna Paramahansa, what has happened? Nothing has happened. That's why he said, beautiful. You had been a cow, had become Chilen Goru, Hoyachen Manush, Hoiben Devata. You have become Manush, Manhush, and you will be Devata, you will be God. So you are like a cow. Cow does what? Grazing and eating the grass and chewing the same cud when sleeping. Day and night, Vishaya, world and worldliness, world and worldliness. In that state, now we have been lifted to Manush. I am aware of my man. Who am I? We are called consciousness study in different language nowadays. Chilen Hoyachen Manush. And in this awareness, Hoiben Devata. We are going to be angels and gods and angels. So why do? So I think these indicate that they used to discuss among themselves.
They discuss, but his question is very strong. What he used, that compare and gossip. I don't think gossip means.
The gossip is a word. We have to understand the meaning. Gossip does not mean chit-chatting loosely, but they sit together.
No, gossip means that when you are not experiencing, but just talking. We do spiritual gossip. But when you experience and discuss, it's not possible.
But all in the sadhana period, they also go to those stages. Though they are knowers of Brahman, born here, but they are to follow the process of spiritual sadhana also. Their frustration comes, dark night of the soul comes. Not that they have all. Even Thakur has touched them, they got their experience. Does not mean that they are established in that. That's the Raja Maharaj again struggling to get into establishment. So, yes, they are. Holy Mother even said, Ma, do you remember your divine self? Well, no, Ma, no, my child, how can you work in the world? No. That they are also put some veil. They are willfully they put the veil, but they behave like us sometimes. So they in that state they compare sometimes. But anyhow, this is may have so many meanings. But another question, by continuously saturating our mind with thoughts of Brahman, will we finally wash the taint of ignorance completely away? Yes, that is the good observation. If we can continuously saturate our mind with the thoughts of Brahman, then what remains? If there is no place of worldliness into it, then ignorance is, you are driving out the ignorance every day, every moment, because you are constantly saturating the mind in the thoughts of Brahman. That's a very important point. If we can walk and I forget 1 minute, 5 minutes I forgot, then I remember, no, my real nature is divine. And then again 5 minutes, again 2 minutes, again 3 minutes. If we do that, constantly the ignorance which was covering my mind and making me feel I am a worldly idiot person, and only to come here to go through this suffering and pain and pleasure and dictate of everyone. When that condition changes, I am Atman, I belong to that reality, then naturally the ignorance, you are fighting with the ignorance. Ignorance is already driven out. So I think that if one can do probably, ignorance will completely go away, certainly. That's why it is said that Shantu Upashito, what is that? So continuously engage, day and night engage yourself in thinking that I am Atman. Ashupte, right. Ashupte, amrite, kalang nayat, vedanta chintaya. There is an instruction, no? Asupte, till you go to sleep, asupte. Amrite, I have done today. 10 days I can live on vacation. In spiritual life there is no vacation. Ashupte and amrite. I have done 2 years. Now I can get 1 month vacation. Or I can relax a little bit, busy with other things. No. Amrite, till the breath stops. The day and night, every day, 365 days, years after years, till we die. Asupte, amrite. What to do? Kalang nayat. We have to spend the time Vedanta chintaya, in the thought of this Vedantic spirit. Or a devotee will practice the devotional practice, whatever. Okay, thank you all. Huh? Amito naki? Yeah. Yes, gospel class will be, I will be here to read the gospel tomorrow. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Rama Krishna Arpanastu.